talking to your child all day isn't exactly it. There's more to it than that. If you're a parent, has someone given you the advice to talk to your child all day, constantly narrate what you're doing with them to help them boost their speech and language skills and to talk more? Well, I am a speech therapist and I have an opinion about this. It's not that they're completely wrong, so I don't want you to be confused about this, but I do want to break down just a little bit more about what this advice actually means and how you can talk to your child all day in a way that truly does boost their speech and language development to help them say their first words or to help them say more words. You want to say a lot of words to them, but you want to repeat a lot of words that are highly motivating and functional for them. And I'll list some of those and what they are a little later in the video, but you want to be using specific words with them as much as you can and not just talking about your day as if you're on the phone with someone telling them about what you're doing that day. You want to point out things that they see in their environment and that are very functional, motivating for them, like their milk, their favorite toys, maybe their blanket or their baby doll or something like that. Whatever grabs their attention and whatever you think they would want to say if they could. You also want to try to get on their level as much as possible so that they can see your face and your mouth and the mouth movements that go along with the sounds and words that you're teaching them. And you also do want to say less sometimes. You want to give them wait time and not just constantly fill in the words for them. So what I mean by this is if you are always saying words for them and you're doing this because you're meeting their needs immediately and you're also saying the words that go along with what they're wanting and needing, then that means that they do have less of an opportunity for them to say the words themselves. So sometimes it's helpful if you put things in front of them or near them where maybe they can't even reach them. That's actually a good thing to do, to put it out of their reach so that they have to look at you and get your attention or make a noise or a sound in order to get that thing. This can be helpful because, of course, you're giving them the opportunity to do that. And so this develops their speech and their language skills, and it teaches them the concept of they have to do something or make a sound or say something in order to get their needs and their wants met. So it's actually helpful if you give them this pause. It's called an expectant pause. Sometimes it's also just called general wait time that you're giving the child. And during that time, you're not saying anything because you're giving them the opportunity to make a sound. And when they do that, then you can meet their need. And that's the positive reinforcement that they get that helps them say more sounds and words. Also, I am a speech therapist. I work with families and children every single day. So if you have a question for me, I'd be happy to answer it. Please leave it down in the comments and I would love to answer it for you in a future video. I mentioned using and repeating a lot of words that are highly functional and motivating for children. And some of these are just going to be simple words like hello, bye-bye, putting something in, taking something out, going up or down, open and shut, asking for more, asking for help, saying mama. These are words that are motivating for them because it makes their world keep going around. And they're very functional for them. And so they're words that they can apply to different things throughout their day. These are words that you're also going to realize you can model and say for them throughout the day because they go right along with your day too. So these are just some examples of words. Of course, I don't want you just repeating these words like you're a robot all day, but I want you to think of it like this. I want you to look at your child and I want you to think to yourself, okay, if I was my child, put yourself in their shoes for a moment and think to yourself, if I was them, what would my surroundings look like? What would be the words that I would want to say? What would be the words that would be of interest to me that I would want to grab onto? Like when I have some toys and I put them in or something like that, you know, or I take a toy out or I get to open a box that has a lot of toys, or I get to shake something, shake, 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 or I get to eat, you know, that's a super motivating functional word. So just put yourself in their shoes and ask yourself, what are those words that really apply to my child, that apply to their daily routine, and how can I repeat and highlight those words for them in their daily environment to help them learn those words. Because we all have to start somewhere, and it's easier for children to start by learning those specific words and being able to hear those words highlighted throughout their day so that they can first learn those and then branch to lots of more words. But if they're just hearing you talk about your day like in a kind of monotone narration style, then this is just not the same. And I hope that that kind of clears up what I meant when I said talking to your child all day isn't exactly it. There's more to it than that. I do have a list of these words. It's the first word checklist for free for you down in the description below if you're interested in seeing more of what these words are. It's a list of all of the most common first words that children say. So it just gives you an idea of the words that resonate the most with children that you can try to repeat and emphasize in your child's daily routine. And it's a checklist, so you can also check off when you've heard your child say these first words, so you can just get an idea of where your child is at and how many of the first words they've said compared to what the most common first words are. And to help you know exactly what to expect when it comes to your child's speech and language development, I have a completely free guide to speech milestones down in the description below that you can get for free. If you like this video and it helped you, then please like and subscribe. It really, truly helps me keep the channel going and growing so that I can make more videos just like this to help families just like yours.